chaps, I'm Magical Mike, and I'm here on World of Enders channel to talk about some duels that we did together as one screen. Maybe not.
Fantastic.
That's not how it went.
Yeah, so Magical Mike and I did a few wonderful. Oh, by the way, this is Bootsper from World of Enders. A few wonderful duels just for fun because we were on different servers in the same World versus World match. By the way, Mike, when are they introducing dueling into this game? Because, geez, am I waiting for it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, we did Behind the Windmill as per the old-fashioned way, but nowadays, apparently, people go into the Obsidian Sanctum for some reason.
Beats me. I don't know. Although, we did get interrupted once down here, which was... That was something.
They're just sort of pesky.
You just kicked them out, basically.
They were an up level. They didn't know what they were doing. But no, for the most part, people who see duels going on near the windmill stay out of the way unless they're butts. But what are we doing here? We are two warriors. On your channel, if anybody wants to see, we had 3 other fights. 2 thieves, a elementalist, and a necro. And then we also had Engie versus necro. But here...
Yes.
Here we have our 2 warriors. It's a mirror match, if you will.
Sort of a mirror match.
Sort
it's
of.
Close to.
Exactly. But basically what happened was I made my awesome World versus World warrior build. You copied it, made a video about it, and then put that on the YouTubes as well, and got, what was it, like 7 times more views than I did. Thanks a lot for that, Mike.
I gave credit. I wish people had come and watch yours because yours was entertaining.
Yours was good too. Yours was more entertaining, I think. More informative for sure.
I just think I got lucky with the ridiculous chase that I had.
Yeah. But you've changed a few things on your build. First of all, I'll talk a little bit about the build.
Yeah, please do.
So it's a warrior build for World vs. World. You have your greatsword, which has 2 movement skills. One is the charge, and the other one's a whirlwind attack. And then you have your sword Warhorn, which has another movement skill with the Savage Leap. And your Warhorn is just basically gives you infinite swiftness and a lot of anti-slowdown. It changes...
And the vigor as well. That's pretty important.
Exactly. And then also I got Bull's Rush. So basically what it does is it goes around World vs. World, going faster than any other class out there could possibly match. Staying ahead of Zergs and picking off people who are not able to keep up with the Zerg or are just roaming around. You stay alive by running away. Probably a lot of people have seen it in World vs. World lately. I don't know if it was because of seeing it on the YouTube or just coming up with it naturally. Probably coming up with it naturally. But yeah, it's pretty great and pretty annoying to people who aren't playing it. Meanwhile...
It's infamous for being incredibly annoying because warriors, man, like there's so much hate against this build or variants of this build in particular, and you can see why. Mm-hmm. Because both of us can just run away from each other so easily.
Except you can't run away quite as well as I can, and why is that, Mike?
I made some very minor variants to yours. So you've got the your build is 030 2020, right?
That's right, yeah.
Mine is 025 10 20 15. So I took 5 points out of arms, 5 points out of discipline, put them into defense for dogged march, which gives me a bit of regen every time you cripple or immobilize me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I swapped weapons. So instead of sword Warhorn, I have axe shield, which is more focused on damage than yours is. And more focused on being able to duel with that eviscerate that I just hit there.
Almost died.
Pretty nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Does a lot more damage than Sword Warhorn, but no condition clearing.
Oh, so and I just destroyed you there. Happens. So I don't know if anybody noticed, although he is more set up for duels and less run fasty, I do have an ace up my sleeve, which is my Mad King runes.
The birds, not the birds.
Runes, I should say, not ruins. And so whenever I use my elite skill, which in this case is a 48-second cooldown Signet of Might, or Signet of, what is it? Signet of
Rage.
Rage, yeah. Which gives me Fury. It gives me Might, gives me 5 stacks of Might, Fury, and Swiftness. So whenever I use it, I call down evil birds that do 14 attacks against my enemy, and 2 other enemies near me. So
Which doesn't hurt very much in particular.
Not really. It does 3,000 damage.
But
it does 3,000
man.
damage, man. But
the combo is what does it.
Exactly. Forceful Greatsword, 20 into arms, gives you, on crit, you get 1 stack of might for every time you crit with your Greatsword. And if you're wielding your Greatsword while using the Mad King runes, oh god.
Runes.
Runes.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Then 14 birds come down, do 14, maybe 14 critical hits because you have Fury, and you get 14 stacks of might, or if you're hitting more than one person, probably 25 stacks of might for 6 seconds. And that hurts. That hurts. As you saw in the last fight,
hurts a lot.
You'll
did. See, every now and then you'll do the birds, and then you'll get a really nasty 100 blades on me, and that'll force me to have to run away.
Mm-hmm. But I think after I did it that first time, you learned and saved your shield invulnerability or your blocks or something for every time you saw the birds coming down.
Is this the 3rd fight? I have lost track a little bit of how many fights we've had. I know I went down before.
I don't know if there were 3 fights. Right now. Yeah,
it took me a while to learn. It took me a while to really start countering the birds and getting my evades off properly, my shield blocks and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or failing that, just running away, just trying to get away from you as far as possible.
Yeah. So the fights last a long time, mostly because of healing Signet, but also mostly because we're awesome. Just plain awesome, you know?
I think it's about 90% because we're really awesome, and about 10% because of healing Signet.
Exactly. No, but honestly, it's a lot of healing Signet, but also we're both being very careful fighters right now, and getting away whenever we're getting low, or healing up. We also have Endure Pain, which is also an evil warrior skill that makes sure that we don't take any damage. Well loved.
Or hated, depending on if you play warrior or not.
You used your Endure Pain when you saw the birds come down, so I wasted my 25 stacks of might.
A lot of the time, I'll be countering your 100 blades Endure Pain with my 100 blades Endure Pain, which admittedly is partly stupid because neither of us are going to be doing any damage.
Yeah. But you should probably just run away and then use it again later.
Maybe if I was smarter, I would have done that.
But like what I'm doing right now. See, this is what my build likes to do. But little do you know, you just give up. You run away.
I was just like, at that point, I think I was saying to you in chat, like, I'm not going over there and having you use your elite on the balls again, because that 25 stacks of mine was just nasty as hell. Exactly,
because you could block my my Mad King runes attack, but the boars can't. So I will be getting the might off of the boars.
Last I checked, boars don't have shield block. I don't know if that's been updated or if that was intentional. It might be a bug. I don't
know. So I think we should talk a little bit about the upcoming trait changes, and also maybe who cares about the change too?
They're not even upcoming. They're already here.
They're here now, yeah. A little late.
We recorded this way before the changes, like a week or two before.
So that's why our builds don't have any incorporations of them yet.
And that's why we have like 30 points in traits and stuff instead of 6.
Exactly. Well, yeah, we should probably... I don't know how long it's going to take me to start saying 6-6-2 instead of 30-30-10. It's going to be a while,
really
I think.
Awkward for me.
Yeah.
It's strange.
But currently in my build, I have Leg Specialist, which isn't going to change, I don't think. It's pretty great for either slowing people down who's running away and making sure they can't get away from me, or... throwing a blade turning around, throwing a blade trail, and then continuing running just to immobilize them as they're chasing you. That's great too. But things that might change is what I currently have is my mobility skills, which I have a lot of. Remove immobilize from me. But I might change that out because of that new trait in 30 into inspiration. Is it inspiration?
Tactics. It's inspiration for a mesmer.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it even in the same spot? I think it is.
I think it is, yeah. But yeah, tactics, because that says whenever you grant might to yourself, you grant 6 seconds of might to allies around you.
Which is really good for comboing with your Mad King runes and Forceful Greatsword, or even if you don't have the runes, just Forceful Greatsword is a lot of might. If you've got more than one target at least.
Mm-hmm. Even with one target. if you have enough might stacks, like if you use those the new version of the strength runes, which I think gives 45% extra might duration, and then 7% extra damage when you have might, it'll be ridiculous. So that means I won't be able to use my Mad King runes, so I don't think I'm going to be doing that. But I think if you just run 2 warriors in a group of 5, you'll basically be giving everybody 20 to 25 stacks of might at all times, which is ridiculous.
And the build that I'm running took 5 points out of arms and 5 points out of discipline, so you lose the movement skills break and mobilize trait, which is fairly important in World v World.
Mm-hmm.
But those 10 points can easily go into tactics and pick up this trait. That's a really easy fix. You lose Dogged March from my build, but you gain this thing, and in a group, if you've got another guy to roam with, then you're both going to be just as mobile as each other, and you're going to be, I don't know, twice as powerful, because you're going to have twice as much might coming out.
Yeah, so if you're in a group of 2 warriors, solo roaming, group roaming with just 2 people,
or even just in a group of 5 people, one guy with this trait could be really powerful.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm definitely looking forward to using it. I'm going to keep my Mad King runes on though, and then pop them when I approach somebody, give 25 stacks of might to everybody around me.
And, dude, of course.
And then have some fun.
The great thing about tactics as well is that you get 30% boon duration by going 30 points in there, so you already get a lot of that strength duration coming out.
Exactly.
Strength, might duration, sorry.
Might duration. Yeah, inspiration's boon duration, isn't it? Inspiration, tactics.
Yeah.
So
Are you playing a Mesmer Boots?
No, I'm not. I just like inspiration. You know, it's good for people. Anyway, I was gonna say though.
I went quiet there because I was looking at the footage. There's a point where I do a thing, and I wanted to point it out.
Oh, what's your thing? Is it here?
It's not yet.
Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and say, who needs fire field blasting now when you have Mad King runes and this new trait?
Yeah, man. Who needs to play Ellie's? I think Ellie's should be nerfed.
What?
And just deleted from the game, in fact, because, nobody needs them anymore.
I like Ellie's. You be quiet. But I gotta tell you,
I'm only saying this because I'm bad at Ellie.
I gotta tell you though.
By the way.
Oh.
This is where I look behind me, look for a good opportunity to surprise you with a shield bash, bam, 8k eviscerate. That was a really nice thing from me.
Terrible.
I was just looking for such an opportunity to do that because I kept missing all my eviscerates throughout those fights.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. I'm sorry, Boots. You were saying.
Well, I was gonna say it's good that I'm saying it now because it's our Ellie Guardian fight. You're playing a really tanky Guardian, right?
I am, yes. This is a retaliation build. It's, you know what? Let me pull the build up before I continue talking nonsense.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just continue.
0, 0, 10, 30, 30, and I won't go into the traits yet.
Okay, so I am playing a same. If you look on the video on Mike's channel, same build as before, a hybrid Ellie build, which I've changed recently. I might actually have to go back to it though because of the changes in the new patch. Hybrid condition damage, critical damage, and power / healing elementalist. It's basically it's got a hand in every cookie dish.
Have you thought about running celestial gear with that?
I have, and it's not a bad idea.
I hear a lot of talk about celestial gear from 2 different camps. One camp says it's really good with Ellie, and the other camp says it's awful, it's not got enough power, never use it, never do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm worried about the power with it, because I currently, basically all, unless you're running, I don't know, Rabbit or something, almost all things have decent amount of power, but if you run Celestial, it's slower than everything. Anyway.
I guess you could put in some Berserker gear, but yeah.
Anyway, but now with the changes to crit damage with Ferocity, crit damage is a little bit lower. I used to have 80% extra crit damage on my Ellie, just base, without any food or anything. But now with the change, it's down to, I think it's 58%. And I don't know how that happened. I'm very upset, I gotta say.
I don't know. I do not know, actually. I thought it was a 10% nerf, but I think that was all Zerker. Maybe you've got some kind of other gear in there mixed in. I do
have a lot of other gear mixed in. I'm just, it's weird that, they said it should be just a 10% nerf overall, but I was going a little bit hybrid, and it meant a, 28% nerf because of it? No. 22% nerf, which is terrible.
Yeah, that's quite a lot.
So I don't know what to do in this case. I mean, I'm gonna have to change up my build, I guess. 22% nerf, guys. Come on, Blizz.
Pretty bad. By the way, you see that Aegis on that Churning Earth?
I did.
messed
That was
up the
pretty
dodge,
good.
so my only option there was to Aegis it, and I barely got it.
So
I was proud of those.
So basically, this fight, what we're doing here is just seeing how long you can survive against me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I am running Hammer Staff, which isn't particularly good in a 1v1 situation. This is more for a group sort of stuff. If I was doing a proper duel again, like we did do afterwards, I would change that to Greatsword and Sword Focus, because the blinds on that are much better. You get the blocks from the focus, and you get the extra retail through leaping through the retaliation field on the Greatsword stuff. And that's my build, by the way. You'll see occasionally your health drops quite low due to
For no reason.
retaliation.
I'm just
And
like, what's
it's really
going on?
strange because I'm focused on just trying to stay alive, and the retaliation does all the damage for me.
Yeah. However,
It's pretty good.
However, because of my heal skill, which is the Signet of Restoration, it does reduce the effectiveness of your build a little bit, because every time you do retaliation to me, I'm basically healing 66% of it with my heal skill.
Is that right? Does it work off you just taking damage?
No, it works whenever I do an attack skill. Whenever I cast any spell, I heal like 256.
Oh, so it just nerfs the retaliation damage. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, because what happens is whenever I cast a spell, you get hit, so you do the retaliation for, I don't know, 300. And at the same time, I'm healing myself for 250. So basically, you're only doing 50 damage to me.
So I like my build here. I've done some more refinements to it. It's basically just the Healway Guardian, pretty much, if anyone's ever seen that before. It's an interesting one to run. Obviously in PvE it's terrible, don't do that. But for duels, for World v World, it's really fun. I had a lot of fun with it, in particular. In particular, fighting you.
Yeah.
Testing it out against your build.
Yeah,
It's fairly
definitely.
survivable, but the burst that you're about to do is just killer.
Yeah.
Those blinds are horrible.
That was a fatal mistake you made, deciding to eat my Churning Earth because you thought you could banish me instead. But no, you were blinded.
I underestimated you, sir, with your blinds.
Well,
That was
there
my
you go.
downfall.
So thanks a lot, Mike. That was a lot of fun. And
It was, Boots. Thanks. And thanks for having me.
all right, see everybody later.
See you guys next time.